Hello, and good evening, everyone. How are you? It is Tuesday. I know it's a different night for us to be on.
Tuesday night edition. All right.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
So we are trying something different. We hope that we get to see many of our Love Still Matters viewers, right? Our Love Still Matters viewers. We are so excited to be on here tonight. We have some exciting things coming up for our Tuesday lineup. So again, we are on every Tuesday during the summer from 8:30 to 9, where we will come and talk about love. And so I am Stacy.
And I'm Ray.
And we are
the Lovebirds.
It's so funny now that people are now associating us as the Lovebirds. I seen somebody in the store and they're like, "Hey, there's the Lovebird." So listen, I'm Stacy and that's Ray, and we're the Bird Songs, but we have officially adopted the name the Lovebird. So that is us. I know that it's weird to be seeing everyone here on Tuesday night instead of Sunday night. I know Sunday night is very convenient for more people. However, on Sunday night is our night that we try to do family things together. Believe it or not, on Sundays, my husband and I, after church, we do an ice cream tour in the summer times. And every Sunday, we go for an ice cream run with our kids. And so it's so exciting because a few years ago, my husband blessed me with a convertible, right? And so the convertible really wasn't even for me. We had one before. My sister Shayna, who is diagnosed with autism, loves to ride with the top down. So we got to get another car with a top. And so we have adopted the tradition that we go for ice cream tours and we visit all different places that sells ice cream in the state of Connecticut and Massachusetts. And so this Sunday was our first run. And so we went to Trail Winds or Trail Wines.
Winds in
Windsor Locks.
Windsor Locks.
Yeah. So we went to Trail Winds in Windsor Locks.
Nice little ice cream store.
It was very nice. And we're going to start going live when we get there on our little ice cream. So I get excited because I love ice cream. There's not too many things that I do like because I'm a very picky person.
Can't you tell?
I know, but I'm a very picky person. And so we will be doing our ice cream tours on Sunday. And spending time with our children and just doing family bonding time things. I know that, people do it on Saturdays, but we're pastors. And so we're preparing for Sunday for service. And so that's what we do. And so we just wanted to let you all know. But anyway, so back to our show, Love Still Matters After the Vows. We talked about the last 2 Sundays, we talked about boundaries. We talked about boundaries with respecting people's personal space, right? We talked about women being able to know passcodes, men being able to know passcodes, why they don't have the passcode. Do you have the passcode to your debit card for your spouse, significant other, or whatever it is that you say, right? Do you have that particular information? Good evening, Missionary Addison. Good to see you with us. And so do you have that information? And so, hi, Monica from Virginia. We love you, girl. Woo-hoo! Happy belated anniversary. First year, 1 year down, a lifetime to go. And so we were talking about those different boundaries, which led to more conversation. Right, which led to more conversation. And so tonight we are going to, hi Tremel, how are you? Tremel's newlywed or gonna be newlywedly married, one or the other. I'm not sure, he'll let us know. Thank you for joining us. And so tonight we're gonna talk about a little bit of a different discussion. And so I'm gonna let this guy right here go into the discussion. So take it away.
Tonight, we want to talk about pet peeves.
Hi, Mother Harris.
What is it about your significant other that sometimes sets you over the edge? And how do you deal with it when they set you over the edge?
Oh, my God. I'm going to need some support in the house tonight. People, we need your voice. So listen, what is your pet peeves? It's so funny. Tonight was his discussion pick. So I did not know we're going to be talking about pet peeves. We are talking about pet peeves, right? Lord have mercy, and Lord work with our internet. We call this to be stable. Cox is still working with us. So pet peeves. So you want to go first, or you want me to start?
It don't matter.
Hi, Cindy. How are you? Thank you for joining us, Mother Harris and Monica. So let's get into pet peeves because my husband's watch. You didn't hear what I said? I said pet peeves. Your friend. We're going to talk about pet peeves. So I have a lot of pet peeves. I mean, we've been married going on 25 years this August, and your girl got pet peeves. Pet peeve 101 for me as a wife. How come when we ask our husbands something, they can never really hear us, right? They could be in the other room. They could be upstairs. They could even be next to you and you're talking to them. And they don't sometimes seem to hear us. What's all that about? I mean, has anybody else experienced that? I mean, because I know it happens with our kids, but I know for me, it happens a lot with my husband, whom I love dearly. Let me just add that. Anybody else have those problems? It might just be me. But listen, hey, we care because we share because we care, right? And so we talk about all of these subjects to get them out there. We talk about the stuff people don't even really want to talk about and the stuff people don't even want to hear. So Cindy says, my honey will raise his voice when he answers me. I tell him he's not my dad. Don't yell at me. And it ticks me off. Okay, Cindy, I hear you. Okay, so go ahead. Help your men friends out.
Yeah, I just want to ask a question. Why is it when a man does something to a woman, she always comes with, "You're not my dad." We're not your dad.
Because sometimes you act like our dad, so that's why we have to put that out there. Is because you like to act like our dads. It's that tone. It's the tone for me. It's the tone that they use sometimes when they're talking to us, right? They put that bass in that voice or they're talking to us. He don't even put that bass in the voice when he's talking to the kids half the time, but he'll put that same bass with me. When he's so Cindy, I can relate. That's not one of my pet peeves. My pet peeves, definitely, I have a list of them, but I'm gonna let him go because let me explain something else to y'all. Every day between the show, if I do something or I say something, he says, I'm gonna talk about this, and we're going to see what the viewers have to say about this. So here we are. Here's his opportunity. Please share. What's your well, you want to stay married, so keep it,
Well, I'm gonna stay married.
All right.
Ain't no doubt about that. I mean, we already talked about that before we even got married. So we don't have to air that.
Okay.
But anyhow, this is my pet peeve with her. I understand she's got a type alpha personality. Things have to be done a certain way. But I have to always remind her, I don't have that gift that she has to be prophetic.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I'm not a mind reader. I love God, but the Spirit don't speak to me like it speak to her and tell her stuff. So, and a lot of times she gets upset with me because she thinks I have ought to did something the way she wanted it or should have gotten it, and I can't read her mind. I tell her, what's wrong with you just saying to me, can you do X, Y, and Z? Or can you pick me up X, Y, and Z? Because my wife is very, very picky. Very picky. And that's just my pet peeve.
Monica says you are prophetic. He is prophetic, Monica, when it suits him. When it suits him, he is. So we're just gonna leave that there. Cindy says her husband blames his hearing aids, but why doesn't he? Let's see. He blames his hearing aids, but why doesn't he do it to anyone else? Exactly. That's your pet peeve?
That's my pet peeve.
Are you sticking to it?
and I'm sticking.
Okay, that's your only pet peeve?
Listen, I add more to it before I take it away.
Okay, well, then add to it. Add to it. Because I have a whole list of pet peeves. I just want him to get his out first. Okay, so since he's looking at me like he doesn't know what we're talking about, let's get into takeouts, people. Let's get into takeouts, okay? Have you ever gone to a restaurant and, you know, I'm the type of person where I cannot eat as fast as everyone else. I've always been like this my whole entire life. Everybody will still be eating. I'm done. I'm still eating. I eat slow because I talk, I engage, I do X, Y, and Z. And so I eat slow.
Mainly
so
talk.
When we go to a restaurant, after I drink my water, eat my salad, by the time the food comes, I'm not as hungry because I'm full. So I bring mine home. Unlike Big Bird over here, who the bird of the nest, who eats all of his meal and hardly ever brings any home. Okay? So he will say it was such a good restaurant. I loved it. The food was so good. It was amazing. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, I agree with you, but I'm going to bring my food home. So I bring my food home. And just because the very next day I don't eat my food, my husband thinks that he is entitled. He has this entitlement privilege that he thinks because we're married, it's in the refrigerator more than 24 hours, that he has the right to eat my leftovers. Am I alone here, couples, women? Am I alone in this? Because I come in, my mouth has been thinking about this all day. All day. I'm thinking about, I'm going to go home and eat my salmon and my asparagus and my coleslaw or whatever it is. And yeah, get the look. Get the look. I see you. And I get home. And he says, babe, what are you going to have for dinner? I said, oh, well, I'm going to have what was in the refrigerator, my leftovers. And then it's crickets. Like he is now.
I'm waiting for the
He's very quiet.
I'm going to wait for the defense to
right? And so he thinks that it's okay to eat my things, right?
It don't work.
I'm gonna let him defend. But listen, men, I want to say to the men, to the brothers out here, to the men out here, listen, when your wife bring it home, leave it alone unless she says it's okay for you to have it. That is an argument waiting to happen. I'm trying to help somebody here. What do you want, Your Honor? Go ahead.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the show. Let me tell you why I do what I do. This lady here, yes, she does eat slow. I will give her that. Yes, she does bring her food home from time to time. I will give her that. But when it sits in the fridge for 3 and 4 days, it's like she's just waiting for me to eat it. And then when I eat it, guess what happens? Here she comes into the house, looking in the fridge. Where's my food from such and such a place? You ate my food. It's been 3 days later. When was you going to eat it? And 9 times out of 10, when she doesn't eat it, she tells me, oh, you could have had that. Go ahead and eat it. So I just take it upon myself now. If it's in there beyond 2 days, I'm going to take it. The defense rests.
So this is what happens to me. So that's just one of my pet peeves. Okay. I do have many pet peeves. I do have very many pet peeves. Cindy says, in our house, it's up for grabs unless it's a note on it. It says mom's food on it, Cindy. I don't know how much more up for grabs you can put a note. It's mom's stuff. He knew it was my stuff from the night before.
I don't always have my glasses on.
I don't think so. I don't think so. No. All right. So let's talk about other pet peeves. Same vein. We go to the store. Hey, honey, we're going to watch a movie. Okay, babe, let's watch a movie. Let's get us some snacks. We're going to get some snacks. I'm going to get the snacks I like. He's going to get the snacks he likes. The kids are going to get the snacks they like. And everybody gets their own snacks. We get down to the movie night. We're all ready to watch the movie night. Surround sound. The atmosphere is set. We are ready. Everybody's into the movie. And I feel this come over to my side. I'm like, what are you doing? I just want to taste it. You're not going to share it? Listen, it's only enough snack for me. He bought his own snack. I brought my snack. But now he's eating my snack. Everything that I have, he takes over. No lie to you all. He's quiet because he knows it's true. He wanted to talk about this, so we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Buckle up. Let's talk about it.
Put the seatbelt on.
He does. Oh my God. He takes everything of mine. And so the way he does it is so smooth. I got to admit, especially in the car. We'll go to McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King. And
you just put me out on Front Street.
Oh no, you want to talk about pet peeves?
You gonna put me out on Front
You want to talk about pet peeves? And so he's so smooth with it. He will drink all of his soda. And then the next thing I know, this is the soda. My soda's there because remember, I don't, The next thing I know, I see my cup in slow motion. He doesn't even do it loud. It's like very slow. And he like thinks that if he does it slow, I can't hear it. And the next thing I know, it's like to his lips. Check it out. He'll drink it, drink, and then slowly put it back. And then he'll be driving and act like nothing even happened. I'm watching the whole time. Like, I cannot believe he's drinking my stuff. But that's just a few of my pet peeves. I mean, it's good to have pet peeves as a married couple because we really laugh about it. When we're in our nighttime chronicles that we call them in the bed and we're having our midnight or evening conversations in the bed, we laugh about it. You got to be able to love what happens in your marriage, right? You got to learn to find some fun and some good in the things that happen in your marriage, because if you don't, these things can take you out. Right? Seriously, we're talking about this. My aunt said my Uncle Gene used to do the same thing. We're talking about these things, but I'm bringing these up for a reason, because people are so sensitive about everything these days where they take things to the nth degree. Listen, he knows that this is my pet peeve. I know what his pet peeves are. He hates when I take a cold bottle of water at night and we're in the bed and and he gets up to get something off his nightstand, and when he turns back around, that bottle's waiting for his back, and he's like, oh, what are you doing? And so I get a joke out of it. But you gotta laugh about these things. You gotta find some fun. You gotta find some entertainment. You have to bring some joy into your marriage. And so, people will be like, oh, they're out there airing all their business about their marriage. No, I'm not airing all my business about my marriage. I'm telling you the things and what we've done to overcome these things, right? And so we're going into 25 years, and you know what? Oh my God. On yesterday, the 14th, I thought about my mom and dad. They would have been married for 53 years. I'm telling you, from as long as I can remember, right? We always try to do special things for my parents' anniversary. And so ever since my dad passed away, for me, it's very hard. It's hard for me. But I mean, they were an amazing couple. I'm telling you, I tried to pattern my life after them. And my husband, thank God, he got to know my dad. And they were an amazing couple. I tell you again, I never seen them argue. I didn't pick that cue up, but I picked up some of the other cues, right? And so I've never seen them argue. And so they had a marriage that I wanted to model my marriage after. Right? I wanted to model my marriage. Yes, we are going away, Monica. We will go live from the side. And so we wanted to model our marriage after that. But my parents used to laugh and have fun. What's one of the things that I can remember? My parents used to wrestle with us kids all the time. It was the women against the men, right? Because me and my brother used to love wrestling. We used to be diehard wrestling fans. And so, you know what? We would have like this family wrestle, whatever, where nobody's really hurting each other, where we weren't allowed to hurt each other or whatever. But we were able to just have fun as a family, right? have fun as a family. So we're talking about all the things that we do, but I want to include in some of the things that you need to begin to do with your family, right? And so we might not get as many viewers on Tuesday as we had on Sunday, but you know what? It's important for us to be able to spend time with our family and to spend time with one another, and to spend time alone. Jump in, feel free.
My motto is this: family is the most important thing. Because when everything is all said and done, that's who is there with you when it really goes down. It's family. Okay? So family has to be a priority. Family must become a priority. And in my defense about me eating her stuff, I eat it because I've heard this ever since we've been married. What's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine.
That's right. That's
and
right.
She always tell me, I got papers on you. I'm still trying to find the papers.
I do.
To see what my pedigree is, because she keeps talking about some papers.
I do. I told him that just this morning. He was like, so what you want to do? You can't do that. I was like, I do. I got papers. Signed, sealed, and delivered with witnesses. It's called a marriage license. I have papers that say that what's his is mine, and what's mine is mine. That's what it says. I'm sticking to it.
She thinks she's so clever. Just like a woman thinks she's so clever.
LaRon says, defend yourself, brother.
I'm trying to, bro. I'm trying to, man. She always pull out a shotgun when I'm at a fight with a little 22.
So LaRon, listen, I just want to say this was his subject tonight that he wanted to talk about. But you know what? In everything, and you know, and LaRon says they think they all think that. But you know, in essence, you know what? I love my pet peeves. I love my husband pet peeves. And you know what? And truly, with our pet peeves, we'll start talking about it, and then we'll start laughing about it. Right. And so I know what I do that irks him. He knows what he does that irks me. But at the end of the day, I still love him with all of my heart. Oh. And if there's something that if there's something that you know, that is going wrong, how do we approach this to talk about it? Right? How do we talk about it? So we have a few minutes here. How do we talk about it? Because what happens is communication for couples is a hard thing. I don't know why communication is hard to talk, because I mean, if you could say, give me a kiss, you can say, come on, let's talk about this. Right?
If you could say, give me $100 to go buy a new pair of shoes, you could talk about whatever else. Right.
And so we gave you suggestions and strategies about how you can go about conversations, right? We talked about going in the car. We talked about going for a walk. We talked about many different strategies, and one of the strategies was not to do was to text one another. It was not to send emails together. Anyway, listen, you've got to get your love language together, right? Oh, so Mother Harris is telling us that that when my husband raised his voice, I couldn't hear him. Let's see the things I could. When my husband raised his voice, I couldn't hear him. Let me see what it says. I do apologize. We're having a little technical difficulty here. I can't really see. I don't know why it's doing that. Because it's all right, when my husband raised his voice, I can't hear him. He will say, "Did you hear me?" And I said, "Are you talking to me, or would you like to talk to me?" All right, good one, right? And so Monica says he knows where he lays his head at night, so he's playing it safe. Exactly, Monica. So, but we really want to be able to see people grow together. Right? Grow together. And so, I come to speak life into each and every marriage, into the people who watch us, into the people who listen to us. Sometimes we joke, but you know what? There's times where we really are serious, right? Because in this time that we are in this dimension that we are in, people are throwing in the towel. They're giving up. They don't want to fight for theirs. They don't want to fight for their marriage. They rather just wash their hands with it and be done.
My excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. My dear old grandfather used to say, anything worth having is worth fighting for. Now, we would fight over clothes. We would fight over a car. But the person that you claim to love, if you're not willing to fight for them, then what does that say about you as a person?
So we have a comment here that says, I know sometimes I don't want him to be hurt by the things that are hard to talk about and to talk about out of love. Listen, unfortunately, sometimes you have to have those conversations, even though they are hard to talk about. Because listen, if your husband went around with his breath stinking and you didn't address it and tell him that, hey, honey, you know what, your breath is stinking. You're going out here and you're in people's face. People are going to hold you accountable and responsible. You took that vow to love him. Right? You took that vow at the altar to love him with your entire heart, to love him beyond anyone else. And so guess what? These conversations might be hard. You may even have an argument behind the conversation that you had, but the two of you have got to get to a point in your marriage where you can come and have the safe space conversation. Okay. And the safe space conversation is, I may say something that may hurt your feelings, right? But I don't want you to get angry about it. Let's talk it through.
And let me say this. You guys, married couples are a representation of each other. I'm going to tell you, my wife tells me sometime when I get dressed and I'm going to sweat, she looks at me and says, I know you ain't wearing that. And I say, well, what's wrong with what I got on? And she'll just shake her head. And I know that means to me, go find something else, because really what you got on, it might be okay to you, but it's not representing her. And we've got the understanding that whenever we walk out the door, we represent each other. When you see Stacy, that's Ray. When you see Ray, that's Stacy. I'm not going to let her going out nowhere looking all jacked up, and she ain't going to let me go out looking all jacked up. That's the thing. As a couple, you are representative of each other, not just the family, but representative of each other. And as representatives of each other, you want each other to always look to the world that you are the best. And also, the world should know that you guys are always a unified force. You're never apart. You're a unified front.
That's good. That's good.
My wife always says, what's that thing you say? You're a movement.
I'm a movement by myself.
But we're a force when we together. And that's how that's how I want every couple to be. Yes, you could be a movement by yourself. Be you, do your thing. Yes, shine, glow. But when y'all together, y'all become more powerful. And the Bible says, how can two walk together except they agree?
Right.
You got to talk it out and come to an agreement.
Right. And I know sometimes those conversations are hard. The conversations that we have with our children are extremely hard. But us as a parent, we must have those conversations with them because we just want the best for our children. We're not saying anything that's not in love, and we're not going to say anything that's going to hurt them. And guess what? Just because he's telling me doesn't mean that it's actually true. That may be what he thinks. It might not be what I think, right? And then we come and sit down and talk about it so that we come to an understanding. Because a lot of times when two people are having an argument in a marriage, they're both saying the same thing, but they're just saying it in different ways, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's what we find with the two of us is that, you know, we say a lot. He's saying take the trash out the side door and bring it down the stairs. And I'm saying, but why don't you just take it out the kitchen and bring it straight? It's right there. You know, and we're going back and forth about how to bring the garbage out and arguing about it, but we're both saying the same thing. Who is willing to compromise? Right? And so if you truly love your husband or you truly love your spouse or your significant other or the person you're in a relationship with, your fiance and whoever, whatever we call it these days, you are not going to say things intentionally to hurt them, right? Because we are not going to be hurting the person that we love, right? This is my accountability partner. If he can't tell me these things, then guess what? How am I going to learn and grow? He is my accountability partner. God is going to hold him responsible, right? God is going to hold me responsible because guess what? We took a covenant and made a vow before God and our families, right? And so I know that it's hard. I know that
it's not always easy.
Right.
And nothing worth having comes easy. Seriously, nothing comes easy that's worth having. You have to make the best of it. You have to work at it. And I'm just going to say this. Movies have given people the wrong idea of what a marriage is. Everything ain't peaches and cream. Grandma used to say, you got to learn to take the bitter with the sweet. Every day ain't going to be sweet. Some days it's going to be bitter. But you got to learn how to work through it because it makes you both stronger. It makes you better people. And also, if you have youngins, if you have children, what better example will they see of what the real example it is to be in love if they can't see it in front of them?
Because children watch everything that they see. I watched my parents for years. They didn't know some of the stuff I tell my mom today. She's like, "What? You remember that? You know, I don't even remember you were there for that." But yeah, I was there for that. I heard it. I watched it. You know, and like I said, I patterned my life after my parents' marriage. You know what I mean? And so I wanted to be just like them. I wanted to be everything like them. You know, from the rooter to the tutor. Honest with you, I love everything about their marriage. And so I said, when I get married, I'm never going to get divorced. You know, I want it to be like this. I want to do this. I want to do these type of things with my family. You know, but some people model their marriage and model their relationships after other people. But sometimes you really got to be careful, right? If you're going to copy a cat, copy the right cat.
That's it. Yeah.
If you're going to be a copycat, copy the right cat. Okay. And some people, you know, they grew up seeing certain things. They grew up seeing their dad raise their voice at their mom, hit their mom, cheat, and do these type of things. And so maybe you didn't see someone who was truly a role model for you to pattern your life after. But listen, who's going to break the generational curse? Who's going to be willing to do it? Who's going to be willing to say, I don't want that for my marriage. I don't want that for my family. I don't want that for my life. So you can't use that as an excuse. I grew up like this.
Right. And I like to say, when I talk to men in men's groups and we talk about the role of a man, I like to tell them, and listen,
good, Monica, yes.
If you have daughters, you wouldn't want a man to treat your daughter bad. I know I would kill a man about my daughters. I would. If you can't treat them with respect.
Don't say kill on Facebook, they'll block us.
Oh, sorry. Hurt them. Excuse me. I'm just saying, you are the first role model your children will ever see. And the things they see you do, they will pattern themselves after you. Y'all, brothers, we've heard it. You heard them, some of them mamas say, the baby mamas say, you're just like your sorry daddy. Well, are you sorry? Or are you a better man? That's my thing. I'm sticking to it.
And so sometimes, sometimes you have to really challenge your mind, challenge your heart, right? And challenge yourself to be better than what you've seen, right? For certain aspects. And Monica said it best, our lens of love affects it. But we have to challenge ourselves to be better. Just because your high school teacher said you would never be anything, you will never amount to anything, you didn't stop there. You continue to pursue your dreams. You continue to pursue to be greater, because greater is in you. You are able to be the best version of you that you can be. Don't stop. Don't give up. Because listen, there is greatness inside of you. Do better than what you've seen if that was the case. right? I've never seen no one arbitrarily go get a knife and be like, I'm mad at my husband, just stab him in the heart because he said shut up. Right? I'm not gonna hurt my husband because I love him. I'm not gonna hurt my children. I love my children. Right? My mother used to say, it's gonna hurt me more to spank you than it's gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you. Yeah, lady, yeah, right. Then don't do it. But when you become a parent, you understand these things. It truly does hurt you. It truly does break your heart. And so nobody wants to hurt the person that they love. Right? And so you have to learn the tools and the tools to make your marriage work. Right? And so because he eats all of my stuff, he eats my leftovers, we joke and we laugh about it, right? And he eats my stuff or whatever. But if I'm upset about it, the next day I could find it in the refrigerator. You best to believe that. He's going out to get the same thing or something close to it, and he's putting it in the refrigerator. Now, a lot of times I don't care. I will leave it in my refrigerator for a while. I'm like, I forgot about it or whatever. But, we joke and tease about these things. But certain people don't joke and tease about these things. These are marriage breakers. These are the things that rule our marriage. Because if you continue to do this, I can't live with you. I don't like you because you're doing this. Listen, you stood at the altar and vowed to love her. Right? My mom says the first 6 months you're so in love, you can eat her. The next 6 months you wish you had her. Right? Where did it go wrong between that first 6 months, that first 6 years? Right? What made you fall out of love with your partner? Did you take seriously the vows that you spoke at the altar? Did you guys get pre-marriage counseling? Because I recommend that to any couple who's willing to get married. You need to sit down and talk to somebody before you go take off to the Justice of the Peace, run down here to Elvis Presley at Vegas, or wherever you take off to go get married. Listen, sit down and talk to somebody. Right? And let them bring out some serious issues, because let me tell you something. In some of our pre-marriage counseling, it gets so heated. They're so angry and they're so mad. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen when you get married? Right? But we bring out the questions that people don't want to talk about. And one of the things people don't want to talk about is money. Right? And so money, what's that? Money answereth. Man, what is that? What's
money answers all things, the Bible says.
Money breaks up a lot of things too. So people don't like to talk about these things prior to marriage. But I'm gonna let my husband close because we are over about 15 minutes and we are about to get ready to close. I always enjoy talking to everyone. I love the conversation. I love the feedback. Thank you, Monica. Monica says, I am the answer and solution. What I want, I shift. That's right. We have the power. We have the power to create the atmosphere to make anything happen. We are the change. Listen, we are the change. If you don't like the person that you are looking and seeing in the mirror, then do something about it. You have the power to change you. You have the power to change your environment. You have the power to change a toxic marriage. You do. You do. You have the power, right? Because together, individually, I am enough, but together we're more than enough.
I like that.
Right? And so we are. Listen, when I have a problem, listen, the first person I'm calling is my husband. Good, bad, or indifferent. Next person is my mom. And sometimes neither one of them answer. But that's another pet peeve for a different day. But he's the first person I'm calling. Right? Because he's my problem solver. He is. He's my problem solver. He talks me through things. He talks me off the ledge a lot, And so, listen, learn to pour life into your marriage. Learn to speak life over your marriage. Learn to speak life over your spouse, your significant other, your husband, your wife. Learn to speak life into each other. Listen, when you begin to speak life and to speak over, listen, some of those other things begin to disseminate. They begin to go away. They begin to fall back by the wayside. Listen, I'm not telling you something that I don't know. I'm telling you something that I've seen. There was a point one time in our marriage we used to go head to head because I always wanted to be right. I always wanted to be right. And so, God had to show me, right? And when he showed me, I didn't really like everything that I've seen about me. Because God was like, he's not always wrong, A lot of times it's you.
And he had to show me some stuff about me, because I wasn't always the angel either.
So listen, until next week on Tuesday, please tell a friend, hey, when we get to 25 viewers, we've been like at 9, 10. When we get to 25 viewers, we are going to give away a $25 gift card. We have the gift card here. So when we get to 25 viewers, we are going to give that gift card away. If you are celebrating an anniversary, or you know someone who's celebrating an anniversary, please let us know. At the end of the month, we are giving a couple's t-shirt giveaway to the name that was randomly selected in our drawing for couples matching t-shirts. Okay. And so this week, today, actually, I like to shout out happy 30th anniversary to Mark and LaShawn Lucy. Woo! Yeah. Woo! 30 years. You guys rock. Woo! 30 years. And so again, if you know someone, or if you're having an anniversary, please let us know. We would love to celebrate you. We would love to celebrate your love, and we would definitely love to shout you guys out. So I just want to say, as we get ready to close, listen, if you have topics that you would like for us to talk about,
please send them to us.
Please send them to us and let us know. So in our closing, don't forget, the vow matters. It's not the love that keeps us together. In every marriage, love may fade for a time. The vows matter, because when feelings fade, the vows hold us together long enough for the love to return. God bless. Have a great night. And I speak life into your marriage. And may God pour more love upon the two of you. God bless and have a great night.
Stay safe.